I don't know what happened that night or what she was planning to do with me. I'm just glad I made it out alive. It all started when my friends and I decided to go to Vegas for my 21st birthday. At the last minute, everyone bailed except my good friend Dylan. We arrived in Vegas and checked into a fancy hotel on the Strip. It was $400 a night, so I was relieved we were only staying for 3 nights. After checking in, a stunning brunette girl approached Dylan and me. She had a thick Russian accent, which I found alluring. Clad in tight jeans and a shirt that matched the colors of the hotel, she offered to help us with our luggage. Eagerly, I accepted before Dylan could even speak up. She introduced herself as Alexandria, and I couldn't help but admire her beauty. As we made our way to the room, I engaged in small talk with Alexandria. However, I realized too late that I had forgotten bellgirls work for tips. Quickly, I pulled out my wallet and handed her a $20 bill. She smiled and winked at me before disappearing down the hall. Dylan teased me about my tipping habits, but I couldn't help it. She was just too captivating. That night, Dylan and I hit the Vegas bars, hopping from one spot to another. I lost track of time and memory, waking up the next morning with a brutal hangover. Dylan, however, seemed unaffected and was ready to continue the party. He mentioned a nearby pool party, but I declined, opting for some much-needed rest. Hours later, I woke up feeling slightly better and decided to head to the hotel bar for a drink. Sitting there, I spotted Alexandria in the crowd, looking as stunning as ever in tight leather pants and a red shirt. My heart raced as she approached me, and we hit it off immediately. She shared bits of her life, her origins in Russia, and her dedication to supporting her family back home. Our conversation turned flirtatious, and soon we were making out at the bar. Feeling emboldened, I suggested we continue our rendezvous in my room after a quick restroom break. Alexandria agreed eagerly. However, as we approached the elevator, a sudden dizziness overcame me, and my vision blurred. I heard faint voices expressing concern, but before I could react, Alexandria assured them I was just drunk. The next thing I knew, I woke up tied to my hotel bed, confronted by Alexandria dressed in a chilling white coat, surrounded by medical instruments. Panic gripped me as she muttered something about me not being supposed to be awake yet. I screamed as she hastily gathered her things and fled the room. An hour later, Dylan found me and helped untie me, oblivious to the horror I had just endured. As I processed the events, I decided to take a shower, only to discover a bathtub filled with ice and a cooler beside it. Fear gripped me as I wondered about Alexandria's true intentions. Was she a crazed killer harvesting organs? I knew one thing for sure. I wouldn't be returning to Vegas anytime soon. Vacationing in the Bahamas at 17 with family friends was supposed to be a dream, a break from the mundane life back home. My friend and I, basking in the island sun, decided to get henna tattoos at the hotel, a memento of our adventure. While we sat there, chatting excitedly, I couldn't help but notice a man lingering nearby. His presence felt odd, but with the crowd that had gathered to watch, we brushed off any initial discomfort. After my tattoo was done, I excused myself. Dinner was approaching, and I wanted to freshen up. The hotel was sprawling with 2 paths back to our rooms, a scenic outdoor route by the pool or a shortcut through the dimly lit corridors, lined with quaint shops. Choosing the latter, I hastened my pace, eager to escape the growing unease that had settled in my stomach. Reaching the elevator, my heart skipped a beat. There, waiting, was the man who'd been watching us. The coincidence struck me as odd, but I tried to maintain composure. He stepped in right after me, a forced smile on his face, and gestured for me to press my floor number. I did, but he pressed none, his intentions becoming clearer with this silent confirmation. Panic surged through me, but trapped in the elevator's confines, I felt my options dwindle. The ride up felt eternal, each floor passing slower than the last. When the doors finally opened to my floor, I nearly sprinted out, hoping to put as much distance between us as possible. In this hotel, most of the rooms faced the ocean, so to the right in this hallway were just windows. I was in the very last room on that floor, and I could see the guy following me about 10 feet behind. Glancing back, my heart pounded against my ribcage, each step fueled by fear. Then, mere doors away from the safety of my room, he quickened his pace, his intentions no longer just ominous but blatantly threatening. He reached for me, his hands grasping at the air. Adrenaline surged as I fought back, kicking and screaming with every ounce of strength I had as he grabbed me. By some miracle, he stumbled, and I seized the moment to escape. Barely managing to unlock my door, I threw myself inside, slamming it shut and locking it in the same motion. My breaths came in ragged gasps, the fear so palpable it was as though I could touch it. I called security, my voice trembling as I recounted the harrowing encounter. The hotel acted swiftly, and soon they had apprehended him. It emerged that this man wasn't just a random creeper, but a predator who had been shadowing young women around the hotel. I don't know what his intentions were, but the realization that I had been a target, that what had started as an idyllic vacation could have turned into a nightmare, left me shaken to my core. The security's assurance felt hollow against the weight of what could have happened. That night, my vacation turned into a chilling lesson on vulnerability and fear. My wife and I arrived in Las Vegas, brimming with excitement for our honeymoon. We checked into our suite at the hotel, eagerly anticipating the week ahead. However, as soon as we entered our room, a pungent odor hit us. It was unmistakable and unbearable. I immediately called down to the front desk, requesting to speak with the manager about the state of our suite. I explained to the manager how the room's smell was intolerable and that we'd appreciate another suite. He was apologetic, but informed me that due to a convention, the hotel was fully booked. To make amends, he offered us lunch at any restaurant of our choice on the house and promised to send someone to clean our room thoroughly in the meantime. After a delightful lunch courtesy of the hotel, we returned to our room, hopeful. Yet the moment we opened the door, the same vile odor greeted us. Frustrated, I called the front desk again, insisting something be done. The manager, sounding equally distressed, assured me he would try to secure a suite for us in another hotel. Unfortunately, every hotel he called was booked solid because of the convention. Left with no alternative, the manager promised another round of cleaning. My wife and I decided to make the best of a bad situation and headed out to explore Las Vegas and indulge in some gambling, giving the hotel 2 more hours to address the issue. Upon our return, the smell was as invasive as ever. I was beyond anger now. I was determined to find the source myself. I began a meticulous search, dismantling the room piece by piece. When I reached the bed, I pulled the top mattress off the box spring and froze in horror. There, in the hidden cavity of the box spring, lay the dead body of a woman. The discovery was ghastly, a chilling end to what was supposed to be the beginning of our married life together. The trip, the hotel, our honeymoon, all were overshadowed by this macabre finding. The excitement we had felt upon our arrival in Las Vegas had turned into a nightmare we could never have imagined.